Alright guys, we are back with another Mech's deck tech. Today we are going over Urza, Chief Artificer. Last time we went over Mishra. Brothers' War can't be complete without both brothers. Urza, Chief Artificer, has affinity for artifact creatures, making them cheap to get out. He gives all of our artifact creatures menace. And most importantly, he's going to create our finishers for this deck. Those being the 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature tokens that get +1/+1 for each artifact we control. We'll get to them in just a little while, but first, let's get into these facilitators. Digside Engineer is a fantastic dwarf artificer. A 3/3 for 3 whenever you cast an artifact spell, and we will be casting plenty of artifact spells. You can pay 2. If you do, create our finisher. We want as many ways to get out our finisher as possible in this deck. And that's what we're aiming to do. They're gonna come in, get big quick, and hit our opponents for as much damage as possible. The name of the game here is most certainly speed. Ethereum Sculptor helps with that. He's going to help by reducing the cost of all of our artifact spells by 1. A little goes a long way in this deck, and he's here to ramp us to victory. Following up our Ethereum Sculptor, we have Hexavis. He's really here to let our big boys fly. Big boys is nice, but they don't got trample, and we need a way to get around our opponents. Flying is a nice, maybe you will, maybe you won't sort of way, and he further reduces the cost of our commander, who's going to help us pump out those boys every single turn. Speaking of pumping out those boys, Mersmith, while she might not be pumping out our constructs, she is helping us pump out Mer artifact creature tokens, who again are going to help us reduce the cost of our commander and increase the power of our finishers at the low cost of 1 mana. Following up the Smith herself, we have Sharding Sphinx. When we get through with some damage, we want to create some Blue Thopter tokens. Once again, reducing the cost of our commander, and, once again, pumping up our finisher. We're all about kicking out a bunch of artifact creature tokens in this deck, looking to pump up our boys and finish this quick. We're not looking for a long game, just a quick 1-2 punch. What's better than creating 1 finisher per turn? How about creating 2? Tano's Solemn Survivor knows all about it. He's here to create token copies of our dudes. Does cost us 2 mana and 2 cards from our deck to the grave, but that's a small price to pay to double up on our big finishers. But why pay for things all the time, right? Thopter Spy Network. If we control an artifact, we almost always will, we're gonna not only create some Thopters to go along with them every turn for free, but if they happen to manage to deal damage, we're gonna draw a card. And for the low cost of 7, March of Progress here is gonna double down on all of our artifact creatures, effectively doubling the power of our finishers, as well as creating a lot of chump blockers, who we don't mind sort of taking the hit and reducing our power temporarily, mind you. Let's move on to those finishers, though. So the constructs in question are right here. These bad boys are 0/0s, but get +1/+1 for each artifact you control. So guaranteed to be at least a 1/1, but more likely than not, they're hitting the field as like a 6/6, maybe even higher. And they do nothing but grow bigger each and every turn. Combine those with the flying counters off Hexavis, and they're pretty evasive. But can we count on our opponents not having flyers? I don't think so. Which is why one of our other finishers is Heat of the City. We could tap it and discard a card to make one of our big beefy boys unblockable. It has the added benefit of being able to let us pay 2 to draw an extra card if we're looking for specific combo pieces. But the important part here is certainly unblockable. Why have one unblockable key when you could have two? Manifold Key is here to make it, so our big finishers, once again, not getting blocked. We're looking for that 1-2 punch, and boys who are getting powered up by all of our artifacts, they're going to do the job. Wrapping up this list of unblockable creatures, we have the Whirler Rogue. He's going to create 2 tokens for us when he enters, further beefing our boy, reducing our cost, and I can tap those 2 boys. Bam. Our big finisher is unblockable. This deck is much more budget friendly, coming in at just under $100 compared to Mishra's $450. But don't let that budget fool you. It definitely packs a punch. If you like this content and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to more Mech Deck Techs. Until next time, guys, good luck with those builds.